This afternoon, we're going to have a slight change to our schedule, our program. Scudder Parker, who was scheduled to read today as well, he called and he is sick. So we wish him all the best, and I hope he's on the mend. But we do have Louise Rader and Judy, Janoo, and you will not leave disappointed. They are two very wonderful poets, and you will be so happy you came here today. I'm going to give you just a few little sentences on our poets. Louise Rader has appeared in numerous journals and publications, a chapbook by Finishing Line Press, and a full-length collection of prose poems by And Then Press. So far she has authored, and Louise, I hope I don't mess this up, 22 books of poetry? Yay, okay. She is a retired psychotherapist, 30-some years, and she now devotes her time to wordplay on a manual typewriter and attends to the dancing moment. And I would like to say something personal about Louise, is that she is an avid library user. I get to see her quite often. She has even volunteered here at the Athenaeum, and her poetry she uses to enrich our community. So I just wanted you to know that about Louise. Okay. And Judy Janoo is a recognized poet in her own right through her numerous writing and poetry awards and journal contributions. Some of the things she has won was the Soul Making Keats Award, the Vermont Award for Continued Excellence in Writing, the Carol Bell Poetry Prize, and Anita Andrews Poetry Prize for Human Rights. Although she was born on the Maine coast, the Northeast Kingdom is proud to claim her as one of their own, where she shares wood trails with black bear and white-tailed deer, and the smoke plume from her chimney goes straight up on cold days. So I borrowed that from the back of your book. I hope you don't mind. So what our poets are going to do today is we're going to start with Louise, and then she will invite Judy after she finishes. And just want you to know that after this, their readings, if you would like to purchase their books, they will be willing to do a book signing, and you can buy the books as well. And we also will have a wine and cheese reception following this as well. So we hope you will stay around and visit with our poets as well as each other. So would you please join me in a very, very warm welcome for our NEK poets this afternoon.
Oh, thank you, Adele. And thanks to the Athenaeum. It's a real honor to be reading in this art-filled, beautiful room with this behind me. And thank you all for coming. It really just warms my heart to see so many friends and familiar faces. And to have the privilege, the honor of reading with the talented, great poet, Judy Janoo, who has been my friend and poetry buddy for 8 years. When I retired as a psychotherapist due to allergies and a climate disaster, I vowed, perhaps rather foolishly, no more computers. Technology doesn't interest me, especially in spring. Between bird walks in a neighborhood where TVs reign Streets emptied except for an occasional teen shooting his testosterone into hoops attached to tall plastic stands, iPod pocketed. I look out at two youth kiss on a churchyard bench, love oblivious to boundaries, where strewn butts imitate white violets thickening grass. Or I stand in my patch of a kitchen, cutting up veggies to cook on a stove, witness to inch-meal transformation. Not that lack of technology supersedes its use, or that moments don't pop up gluten-rich sourdough for a toaster, but my cerebrum just crumbles with icons, choices confined, a slaughterhouse pig in a 4-foot square pen, not 10 piglets single-filing behind their sow on Lake Titicaca's high-altitude edge, beyond theoretical physics or parentheses needed around densely wired webbing of 21st century rooms. That backyard kiss, a ball of fuchsia twine, catching in a hoop. My favorite flower for decades has been the peony. Workers unite. The ants come, climb a stalk, forelegs to pry open fisted petal globes, curled as if cocooned, unfurl a wrap of shell, release plump and frill, not elegant as rose or constrained as ranunculus. Peony fragrance, its own architecture of rock, soil, sultry light, a design of spice and sweet, wafting the Silk Road, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, core nectar in wait for worker bees, skilled, essential, communal. Maybe I should have been an entomologist, given the number of poems I've written about insects, though I have yet to pen an ode to a tick or a tsetse fly. This poem emerged while sequestered during the pandemic. I welcome visitors. I welcome ladybugs, hungry for aphids, window cracks bringing outside in, their antique name conjuring royalty or a femme fatale, as if caped in brocade for Mussorgsky's promenade, green-dotted vermilion backs, beetle upper walls, stroll ceilings, pose as miniature chandeliers. Unsure, I lift screens, free each one, scent of fresh-cut grass mingled with musk of black, polished bellies, clinging to my finger pads, lacy wings popping out like expensive lingerie. Yet they re-enter, pumping flappers for elegant fare, pâté of web, minced no-see-ums, wedged in rug fibers, my long receiving mat unrolled. After I wrote this next poem, which titles my book, Interwoven, I read Thich Nhat Hanh's Zen and the Art of Saving the Planet, in which he refers to the concept interbeing, every species and aspect of the earth interconnected. We are mineral, bird, ocean, cloud. Interwoven for a country in slow civil war. 1. Leaf-lipped crabapple buds, reds and pinks, peek out. Tongue tips drip pollen, bumblebees suck. Once bloomed, cascading petals cushion pathways. 2. At asphalt edge, rise of curb, a crack. Tall sow thistle, yellow spits, white threads, allows a wanderer seed to sprout, to wind its stem, purple morning glory, lavender brush-stroked, ivory lit core. As if lovers, they seem to vibrate above a storm drain. 3. Crow bugles for now departed. A woman upstairs says robins disturb her sleep. Without seeing them, she knows their song. Spruce crown near her window. Sumptuous limbs dangle hundreds of cone amplifiers just beyond mine. I hear softer finches, magenta head and chest chirping a French chanson, and awaken to love. The woman's eyesight limited, our circadian patterns at odds. One bird streamlined, and the other's front half a persimmons. Will a crow's return, throat drumming calls, soften disparity? Too many of us can recall last summer's disasters. If only theater. Lucky I watched through glass. Rain drowns a dozen hours, tents collapsed, constant lightning, soaked figures, flash shadows, human wisps, face down, trudging rivered sidewalks, a few hauling what little they possess. A hurricane this ranting night, threatening tornadoes, each water drop, each spotlit crash, each wind thrash, an actor in a play, a tragedy gushing off the stage, climate change, uncurtained plague, washing over the audience. And that once-in-a-thousand-year storm. Liquid catch. Crossing over a mud-brown river, the bridge rail dangles loosened webs, each silk weaving, white threads not quite strong as steel, wind gusts flap, as if strung Tibetan prayer flags bestowing strength for spider artists, deluge blown. Their intricate mandalas, sun illuminated through scraps of mist, silver water drops, shimmering oblongs, arachnid pearls, still clinging. In her first book, Gathering Moss, Robin Wall Kimmerer of Braiding Sweetgrass, which many of you I'm sure know, mentions a river I once navigated. This poem was written last November. Polish the oar, quiet the mind. 4 canvas canoes paddled down the wild Oswegatchie River, winding western Adirondack hills, harboring bare, ancient rock, cracked full of moss. A river of unexpected rapids we teens struggled to survive. Now I watch a muted hill erode, rush torrents of icy rain to a stream sprouting sparkle leaps towards sun's rare appearance, that old, tired oar restored to dip and sweep unpredictable, muddied water. As stream flows into river, once liquid thoughts snag on jagged boulders, locate Charybdis swirls, yet the unswallowed mind paddles on, propelled by one soft breath following another. Several autumns ago, Iranian women protested at great risk for their rights. You may remember that. At risk. Such beauty in a mud puddle where the sun rims edges in silver beads. Such beauty in driftwood, river smoothed as a heron wings low and south. Such beauty in bare trees as finger bones reach to clouds to another chance. Such beauty in a communing when women rise up, reclaim their right to breathe. And after all that gloom, here's a hope. Could this be, in quotes, hope inspires the good to reveal itself. Emily Dickinson. Late October rain strips leaves to essential envelopes of a love powered for healing hatred, to be sent instead of bombs to a place where it all began. Fertile land altered to desert without oasis for warring tribes attempting to annihilate beneath an azure sky, ink-scratched by missiles. Now here, where the weak are thwarted, revealed wet branches, a calligraphy to read the truce in communion, as on a steep incline, blue clabbered, the color of peace, peeks through an oak's coral tips. This last poem emerged after reading a well-written, at times humorous, archaeological book about human life during the past 10,000 years. Archaeology of change. After reading The Dawn of Everything, in which the following isn't discussed. Maybe not only humans traumatize this planet. What of dinosaur thuds, each step sending shockwaves to bedrock, or the asteroid shuddering water to our moon, or sun-shielding volcano that perished all alive except cockroaches, turtles, and crows? What of geologic growth causing fires, floods, ice, sheets a mile thick, mountains to emerge, oceans to sink, then swell? Are we not stardust energy that rises and falls? Is not the universe a prayer with or without ambition, curiosity, a push toward progress? Yet can human consciousness prevent another life collapse, given greed's magnitude or belief's power to destroy? Is not everything a particle colliding, bouncing off possibility, cobalt blue, a butterfly on milkweed? Thank you very much, dear audience. Thank you. You've been such attentive listeners. I want you to know that all proceeds from the sale of Interwoven, the book, will go to the Vermont Conservation Law Foundation that advocates on behalf of climate initiatives and sustainable communities, needed now more than ever. The foundation has already expressed written gratitude for this intention. And now, the multi-award-winning poet of lyrical beauty and compassionate strength, Judy Janoo.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. What a joy. What a joy to see you all. Louise, that was a wonderful reading and so important, so impactful. Put my glasses on. I wanted to thank Adele and the Athenaeum, especially for so generously hosting this reading today. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come and listen to us. Can you all hear back there? Okay. My parents loved to dance, so my first poem is from my mother's point of view. Can't steal a beat from our swing. The kind of beat that brings your baby back. That triple step, rock step, open out Savoy style. Not a tempo that takes its long, slow time. It's a jive beat, 8-count, 3/4 drum skin. I remember our first Lindy Low, knees bent into our soles, into the floor, into the downbeat, the strong beat, what we needed to take the weight. Did I mention the whip, the spin, the basket, his hand chasing my back, my hand pressed to his fresh-aired flannel, shouldering the pulse, the horn's hollow brass doubling back for a cry, the upbeat, the cross arm, the dip. The room moves at the edge of the pause when it all smooths. The kind of tempo no one messes with. No grabbing your man for war, not in the turn, the aerial, the rap of this dance. No stolen boyhood, no shock to the bone. Not one note missed when we step onto the floor. Yeah, anybody want to dance? You're welcome. This next poem is a recent poem. During current events concerning our wonderful friends, the Canadians, I wrote this poem. It's called Neighbor. I have borrowed notes from the organ of the night. I have played them on our border, where I've waited for your lavender to gush into blossom, your fields to scent miles of quiet. I have walked between your ice sculptures in this winter of discontent. Each glazed figure, animal, diplomat, village, a window to friendship, seeing in, seeing through. I have taken in smoke of burning forests, yours and mine, and static meant to bank on fear, churn us, separate us, break down power lines. Yet in nearness, our voices can pass through cans and string. I'll keep tuning until the static is gone. I have measured harmony in lavender chords, my thoughts ruffled by the raised feathers of gray jay and eagle, who will still be neighbors when we wake tomorrow. I will hold a note until you come in. Until stars go cold, I'll watch for your geese to nest again in my pond. Canada. It's been a long winter, and I imagine black bears feeling like many of us right now. And I hope you've brought your feeders in. This is called Bear Cub. Eyes closed at first, wintering inside the earth, black, matted fur. Dampness pressing soft eyelids, shut to outlast the frost, heaving around him. He belly crawls, paws a way out, his lost store of shoulder flesh, ribs, chest. The long dormant yearling recalls insects, beeswax, berries pouring purple onto grasping claws, juice drooling down his jaw. Less greed than strength and instinct. Orphaned by a poor beechnut fall, left with the unfed restiveness of his lumbering, he'll hunt the old trail, the new, with purblind eyes, dig through waste, the lingering scent of bacon grease, fish entrails, knocking loose his dim view, weakened, disoriented, after so much darkness. He and we long to see the sun, but it takes time to open our eyes once we've shut them. I had to give up sugar, and this is what I have to say about that. So Adele, I hope you don't have sweets back there. Sweet elegy. Old glass jars of fireballs and gumballs, root beer barrels, cinnamon swirls, caramels and taffy, the wonderment, a grocer's shelf discovered for a cent. Visits each had its own sweet greeting. The woman who raised goats bent over the stove, wood spooning, thickening brown sugared cream into panucci. The milk lady gave lemon drops when we bought quarts of fresh Jersey. At home, hot fudge bubbled in a pot, poured on dollop vanilla ice cream, maraschino cherry on its throne. I still dream of my hand in the black licorice, being caught climbing to reach the bowl over the kitchen cabinet, the elder child, trusted to fudge coat peanut butter and coconut for guests. Oh, newly unsuitable confections, in my museum of sweetness, you never lessen, though my system rejects you. No more s'mores or gold-wrapped quarters, every form of chocolate I lament. Creamy milk, dark and white, dissolving like love on the tongue. I lay to rest my taste for you. And when you call, I cradle the phone, but don't answer. Savoring every memory, each dream of finer things, sweet longing without end. And it's true. I wrote, there's a lot of, Louise captured water so well, and I wrote this at the end of last summer's heaviness. This is called Berries After Rain. And the wild berries, for some reason, they thrived last summer. So I'm not welcoming anything, just at least just one thing that thrived. Berries After Rain. A midsummer day, the hillside, a wilderness of quiet, ripening in paths of wild raspberry and red clover. Buttered light plumping still centers like tiny lakes we'd put our boat into, water cupping us as we lifted our paddles and floated soundless as the loon, dipping for minnows. As I reach into showering thickets, berry baskets strapped at my waist, I seek solace in my own slow pace, picking one berry and the next until the light grows tired and I stop reaching and silence finds me. Some of you may have practiced yoga or tried it out, or maybe doing a lot of it now. This is called yoga of poetry. Ears between our elbows, tailbones to sky, sonnets flushing om, heart to palm, spines inverted triangle, hamstring, thigh, downward dog pantomiming through the upside down of us, releasing stress, lengthening our breath. And may I suggest odes to backstretch namaste to you. Unstringing tendons of tension through starfished fingers, Achilles pressing into red earth, sweet oil of saxophone, spoon lick of light, couplets melting nerve endings, blazing airways through a stricken country, softening the tongue of us with heads between our knees. This poem is for a special friend who appreciates it, and I wanted to share it with you. Might have to look up the page. It was one that I wasn't planning on. It's called Drawn, and I think when I wrote it, my father was in my mind. Drawn to fishing boats, diamonds of twine my father mended, set, checked at dawn, hauling for a living, and sharing with anyone needing a meal if he caught anything at all. Drawn to smoked herring, strung along the cellarway, cod jerky, canned sardines, chowders simmering in a red kitchen. Drawn to September's plenty, to its hail marking the surviving harvest. Drawn to be the channel to his Normandy landing. Don't believe anybody would want war, he said, if they spent a minute in a bombing raid. I'm drawn to the deep, to melancholy, innocence drained from Edenic leaves, to those who've dug foxholes to shelter in, then find they've moved on. I'm drawn to the September in men. Thank you, Dave. So I married into the Malaysian culture, and I want to give you a taste of that. This is called Johor Bahru, and thank you to those who have heard it. I just touch my heart. The music of Johor Bahru is sitar strings plying breezes off the South China Sea, fanning jasmine and lemongrass across verandas. The music of Johor Bahru is rice pots popping, a kompang rhythm, cashews softening in coconut and ghee, nasi biryani, beef satay, pandan leaves sizzling like bees. The music of Johor Bahru is Rafflesia's red blare calling ayahs, hornbills whistling, monitor lizards clicking at chickens in the street. The music of Johor Bahru is Assalamu alaikum. It is Shanti, it is peace. It is monkeys and mangosteen trees chucking fruit. Hee, hee, hee. It's the music of Malays tapping rubber trees, Chinese miners, British colonizers beating tin into profit before the Japanese invasion captured your father. The music of Johor Bahru is moon orchids, tiger orchids, grafted to coral trees. It is sea eagles piping, prawn paste bubbling, your cumin-scented skin. The music of Johor Bahru is succulent jungle drumming, our cradle song, and your sarong swinging our babies between your knees. And this is another one along the same vein. It has my late husband in it. And the only thing I want to tell you about this is, what do I want to say? Oh, that we lived in Alabama when my late husband worked on the Challenger program. Some of you may remember. how that went, but he was sending soil samples into space. Last night, the supermoon. Forgive me for not noticing the indigo February sky, birches peeling the winter skin, revealing raw pink beneath. I overlooked wild turkeys blooming copper and metallic rose as the males danced. Barely noticed their splay-toed tracks. I missed chickadees, didn't listen to the wing glee. But last night, the moon came to my window like your soul, and I could not look away. Brimming through the curtain's gap, your apricot glow lay full beside me. I could not sleep or fall into dreams, the whole outdoors a dance floor, calling me to polka into the light. Mama waltzed there, sure-footed in her mismatched dots and plaid, her belly laugh quoting Longfellow like a pro, as she spun you, Vincent, though you never danced in life. But I smell the mango curry musk of your hair in the cold struck air. You've come to show me your light on your feet, that your soil test made it to space this night. You worked the moon, and it worked on me. So before I finish, I'll have two more poems for you I wanted to share, but I wanted you to hear one of Scudder Parker's poems, as he regretfully couldn't make it due to illness. So I asked him what poem he wanted me to read, and he said, "Lost in North Danville." I don't know where the meteorite is now. Round, nubbled rock, flattened like a meadow muffin, iron heavy. It has resumed its ancient status as unowned. 50 years ago, we brought it home, our strange catch from an afternoon fishing Houghton Brook. Resting in clear water, we marveled it had hurtled through our air. A rusted pump and handle sprouted from the brook bed, too. Iron wheel rims leaned against stone walls. Elements the same but different. Both had been human-tainted. The trout swam over it, oblivious. It could have come eons ago, seared its way through a mile of ice, or found this pool last year, still ageless, wonderful. At the museum in town, the curator just laughed and gave no answer, did not trust our story. So common when the galaxy delivers us its weighty cosmic dust. I haven't searched for it, I don't want it, rusting in the shed, shelved in that museum, or hammered on some anvil. Like other things, it is at home, lost there in North Danville. And that's Scudder. I'm going to end with last two poems on creating, because we're all creative, and sometimes we need that even more than other times. On creating. You do not have to be a Beatle to let it be, or Neil Young to reap a harvest. Imagine like Lennon. Project Aretha's respect. Sing it, yes, oh yes, a holy yes. You don't have to be an artist to create. Do what a field jeweled with dandelions can. rouse a chorus with a heart of gold. Yes, Elvis was heard crying in the chapel, and Michelangelo too, his spine knotted from folding over, for God only knows how long until a fresco was born. You have it. Give it space, play, go over the rainbow. Don't stop believing. You don't have to be a saint to go marching in. And finally, the black van. Sometimes even family members can surprise us. The year my parents bought the Dodge Ram with the red faux fur interior, blazing like a steamed lobster, the rooster's comb, a shaggin' wagon, I said. The year I was injured and left college, and my mother's abscess erupted, releasing her fear the growth was something worse. My father pulled the van into the driveway in his wordless way, parked roadwise so the red-fringed windows showed and the polished steel chrome, and she could spring into the fleecy front seat, set loose like the black Angus from a broken fence, my mother's blue eyes unfolding the bed in one breath. These two Depression-era teens who made lists on old envelopes, pounded out bent nails. I thought that was it for me. My mother rubbed her hip. She'd always wanted to see places. He'd seen enough during the war. But that spring they left, rabbit's feet and fuzzy dice dangling from the rearview mirror, the outmoded couple with the strange names, Afton and Phoebe. Sprang something loose in me as they spun the gravel of dirt roads, sent postcards from the smoky hills, the Gulf, the plains, saying, at your worst, turn your jacket inside out, climb into a furry red seat, and ride. Thank you so much. So, wine and cheese, I'll let Adele, you're going to come up and invite her.
Oh, absolutely, but you're welcome to that.